Welcome to Hearsay, where I share the facts, opinions, and rumors I've heard. Please subscribe, like the video, and share. Do you know what was the first ever full-length animated feature film produced by Disney? It was a time when the world was still finding its feet in the realm of animation. The early years of Disney were far from a fairy tale. The journey was filled with struggles and challenges, and yet, a glimmer of hope and innovation persisted. The company, founded by the visionary Walt Disney, was on a quest to revolutionize the animation industry, and they did so by daring to dream bigger than anyone else. They embarked on a mission to create not just a short animation, but a full-length animated feature film, an idea so audacious it sent shockwaves through Hollywood. But Disney, undeterred by the skeptics, pressed on, fueled by an unwavering belief in the magic of animation. And so, in 1937, Disney made a daring move that would forever change the world of animation. Now, can you guess which film we're talking about? Ah, the suspense. The first full-length animated feature film produced by Disney was none other than the classic Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Now, you may wonder, why Snow White? Well, there's an interesting backstory to it. Walt Disney, the man himself, was captivated by the story of Snow White when he watched a silent film version as a young boy. Years later, he decided to bring this enchanting tale to life through animation, a medium that was in its infancy back then. The production process was no walk in the park. It was a mammoth task that required immense creativity, precision, and patience. The team had to create the illusion of depth in a two-dimensional space, craft lifelike movements for the characters, and ensure that the story was engaging throughout. But the biggest challenge was convincing the skeptics. Many doubted that an audience could sit through a full-length cartoon. They called it Disney's folly. But Walt Disney, ever the risk-taker, was undeterred. He poured his heart, soul, and a whole lot of money into the project. He believed in the power of animation, and he was determined to prove its potential, and prove it he did. Despite all the odds, Snow White was released in 1937, and it was nothing short of a miracle. But what made Snow White so special, and how did it shape the world of animation, you might ask? Well, let's dive in, shall we? Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs was a trailblazer in many ways. It was the first to use the multi-plane camera, a groundbreaking piece of technology that allowed for a sense of depth and realism previously unseen in animation. This innovative technique influenced countless animated films that followed, setting a new standard for animated storytelling. But Snow White didn't just revolutionize animation techniques. It also proved that animation could be a viable form of entertainment for all ages. Prior to Snow White, animation was largely seen as a novelty, something for children or a brief comic relief. But with its full-length narrative, complex characters, and emotional depth, Snow White showed that animation could be just as engaging and emotionally resonant as live-action cinema. And let's not forget its impact on society. The character of Snow White set a new standard for female characters in animation. She was kind, gentle, but also brave and resilient. While some critics argue that Snow White reinforced traditional gender roles, it's undeniable that she became a cultural icon and a role model for many young girls. Snow White wasn't just a film, it was a game changer. It revolutionized animation and left an indelible mark on society. So, what is the legacy of Snow White, and how does it continue to influence animation today? Snow White, Disney's first full-length animated feature, did much more than just entertain audiences. It blazed a trail, setting the gold standard for animation. Its success catapulted Disney into a league of its own, establishing the company as a powerhouse in the animation industry. The film's innovative techniques, such as the use of multiplane cameras and hand-drawn cells, continue to inspire animators today. It proved that animation could tell complex, emotionally resonant stories, not just silly cartoons. This set the stage for all future Disney classics, from Cinderella to Frozen. Moreover, Snow White popularized the now familiar format of musical storytelling, integrating songs seamlessly into the narrative. It's a tradition that Disney and other studios continue to this day. And that, my friends, is the tale of Snow White, the film that started it all and changed animation forever. What animated movie do you think had an impact? Let me know in the comment section below, and I may research it for my next video.